Well, welcome to our second segment on clarinet repair and maintenance. As promised, in this segment we're going to be talking about how to lubricate the clarinet the Tom way, aka the right way. And what I would like you to do, if you haven't seen it already, is to take a look at the first installment of repair and maintenance, because there we talk about how to assemble and disassemble the clarinet and not strip the screws out. So it's very important. We're going to be pulling some of the screws in order to lubricate the clarinet the Tom way. So please look at that, if you will, please. Now, before we actually go into the process of lubricating, let's talk about lubrication just a little bit. I'll have to say that the most important single thing in lubricating the clarinet is the lubrication that you use. It's very, very important. And over the years, as a repair tech and working on clarinets of all different types, the thing that I found is commercial lubricants tend to be sorely inadequate for the job. First, they're very thin, they dry out, they goop up, and sometimes they actually freeze the screw right in the mechanism, and it's really a nightmare to get it out. And also, they don't contribute to helping silence the mechanism at all. So why we always thought that we had to have very thin, light oils to lubricate clarinet mechanisms, I'm not sure. And it was kind of a mystery to me, and I wasn't sure what the solution was either. And I was, very perplexed for a long time about it. And then one evening I remember falling asleep, and I remember having that dream. Hurry, ladies and gentlemen, step right up and see the world's greatest clarinet key lubricant, Tom's Super Goop. Right behind these golden portals, you can see and use the goop for a measly $2.50. It's fantastic. It slices. It dices. Okay, it doesn't slice or dice, but that's not what it's supposed to do anyway. It's supposed to lubricate your keys, and that's exactly what it does. Really great. Get away from me, kid, you bother me. You may ask what's so great about Tom's Super Goop. Well, I'll tell you, it's thick. It's slick. Unlike your house slippers, it stays where you put it. Get away from me, kid, you bother me. And unlike the U.S. economy or the political system, it won't break down. But it was after I had that dream that I knew what the task before me really was going to be. First, I had to find a great lubricant that met those criteria of the barker in the dream. The lubricant had to be thick so it would stay where you put it and also help quieten the mechanism. It had to be slick, of course, to help lubricate the mechanism. And it had to not break down and cause sludge and cause the mechanism to freeze. So I went on quite a search, and I finally did find a great lubricant, and I've been using it on clarinets for 5 or 6 or 7 years. I've done clarinets for people and had them back in the shop after 2 or 3 years, and you might say they've been rode hard and put up wet, as we say here in Texas. And when I would pull the screws and pull all the steels to look at the mechanism and lubrication, I couldn't see any wear in the mechanism. So it's almost a permanent lubrication. I fall short of saying that, but that's been my experience. Lubricate it once and it's almost permanently lubricated. Anyway, I'll be showing you how to do that, and we're only going to be doing it for the long screws, not for the little pivot screws. I've got another solution for those little pivot screws that's going to permanently silence and quieten them and take away all the slack. It's a secret solution that I developed, and I'm going to be sharing that in an upcoming video. But for right now, we're going to talk about how to lubricate those long screws, and the segment is coming up right now. We're going to lubricate the clarinet keys the Tom way, and let me show you a few of the things we're going to be working with here. We're going to be working with just a clean, common paper towel. You're going to need some alcohol in a spray bottle, like that. And I've got some smooth action pliers here. That's for pulling the screws. This is a pair of wire cutters, and I use those to cut pipe cleaners. And I'll show you how we use the pipe cleaners pretty soon. And I've got my trusty screwdriver here. The clarinet we're going to be lubricating, and this orange towel here, which is just here because it looks cool against the green. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to lubricate the screw for the F-sharp key. And you notice that above the F-sharp trill key here, I've got my thumb. I'm going to put my thumb here to hold the key in place while I pull the screw. But first, let's unscrew the screw until we hear the ubiquitous click. Okay, well there I can feel the click at. Now I've got my thumb up here now. I'm holding it in place. Now I'm going to take my flat pliers and just pull it right out. But notice I'm holding the key right in place, so it never really moves. Next, I'm going to take my pipe cleaners and I'm going to just run it right in where the screw used to be. Now, I'm going to clean the screw, spritz a little alcohol there. Now the screw is completely clean and it's ready to be baptized in a little bit of super lube. Now take a look at this stuff. See how thick that stuff is? Wow. And all you do to lubricate the key, you don't even have to take the key off, is you get a bead of super lube on there, put it back in its original place, push it back in the shaft, and remember our first lesson, gonna back the screw off till we hear the click, and just pushing the screw through the shaft is going to lubricate the entire shaft. Now that clarinet, that F-sharp key is almost permanently lubricated. So that's the simple process of lubricating the keys properly and almost permanently. Unscrew the screw while you hold the key on, pull the screw, clean the shaft while the screw's mounted with some pipe cleaners, clean the screw with alcohol on a cloth, dip it into super lube, and when you put the screw back into the shaft, that shaft is going to be completely coated as the screw moves all the way through it. Tighten the screw down and you've basically got a clarinet that's permanently lubricated. It's very simple. Listen, subscribe to our YouTube program. We have a lot more stuff coming up, a lot more videos planned, and we'd like to share a lot of clarinet knowledge with you. Log into the Ridenour Clarinet Products website, drop us a line, and if you have any questions or anything you'd like to discuss here, let us know. I'm sure that anything you'd be interested in, that almost the whole clarinet community would be interested in. If I don't know the answer, I usually know someone who does. In the meantime, thanks for dropping by.